like the one, the first poll question, McLovin. Are you more likely to bet?
Do you think our audience has enough non-bettors? I'll bet you they do. I mean, it's not easy to bet, so I'll bet a lot of people don't.
I think we bet a lot already. I think there's gambling involved in sports that, the office pool, there's gambling involved in that. When you do March Madness, there's money involved in that for most of us. Fantasy leagues, there's money involved in that you can win money. So people are doing it. They don't realize that there is some gambling. It's not that you're going through a bookie. Now you have this opportunity, and I think it can help some sports, certainly baseball. If you could do something at the stadium, now you're going to be able to do it at home, but you want to get people, I think you're less likely to go to a game now, it feels like, because I can do everything at home. And now I can gamble at home. I can just sit there, and if I want to have some kind of app on my screen, if I want to, hit, hey, bet on this pitch, or, I'm going to put $10 on, Kershaw against Bryce Harper. Mike Trout's coming to the plate. David Price, real-time prop bets. I think that is going to be, that could really be beneficial for baseball, because baseball is boring and getting even more boring. And if you have something in between pitches, in between batters, now there's a little bit more anticipation, a little bit more interest. Then, all right, we move to the bottom of the fourth. Yeah, plug.
McLovin asks, is there any downside for the fans? I guess if you don't bet, have no interest in betting, over the next 5 years, there's going to be a lot more sports media people who talk betting, talk lines, and shows about that. It's like when you hear someone else talk about fantasy football, you tune right out. If you're listening to a show and it's a lot of gambling talk, and you don't gamble, and you just want to know about the game itself, you're out.
But we do watch Texas Hold'em. Like, we'll watch it on TV, and we have no money in it. I'll go. I like watching people gamble in Vegas. I don't like gambling, but I like watching it. When somebody says, hey, I took the Raiders in 9, I have a little more interest in that game if it's a friend of mine. But I don't know. It's weird. I think people will do it. I think you can live vicariously through other people when they do it. You're right. When somebody goes, hey, he's on my fantasy team, I immediately tune it out. Like, I couldn't care less. But that's not really gambling, that it's on the league at the end of the year, maybe, that there's a payout there. But if you have something like FanDuel, when there's real money involved in, real game time action, then that's far more interesting than if you win your league, you win $250. Yeah, Fritzy.
Wouldn't it be weird at times, say in a baseball game, that a portion of the fans in attendance bet that this batter or this pitch is going to lead to a ground out or a pop out or a foul out or something that you would normally not hear an eruption of cheers from, because a whole bunch of people were betting on a certain thing happening at a moment, which is basically a meaningless play, all of a sudden becomes meaningful because people just won money on some silly bet.
People just want something to bet on. I mean, the number of people who bet on a football game and they have no interest in it. So, you could have Cleveland playing against the Bengals and you have really no interest in it, nobody on your fantasy team, and you go, I'll put a dime on it. Just I don't know. Monday night game, I was always putting money on Monday night. Just because I was, I didn't know if I really cared about watching it. And then next thing you know, I'm putting money on it. Or I lost on Sunday, I'll get it back on Monday night. How people bet, why they bet, when they bet, how much they bet, that's going to be the fascinating part of all of this. Yeah, Paulie.
And the leagues will structure the games like the NFL so they don't spill over anymore. 1 o'clock games Eastern to 4 o'clock games, they want to spread those out so people have their bets done before they go to the next games. One of the best things about Vegas, I'm sure we've all been there, is when there's like some meaningless game on. It's like the Suns versus the Nets. And someone hits a 3 at the end to cover, and the whole room goes crazy, even though it's like an 18-point game.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.